This is the fastest path to getting your first AI agency client in the next 90 days, and I'm gonna prove it to you right now. Look, I was literally about to start my corporate job at Boeing, like offer letter in hand, ready to travel from Atlanta across the nation to LA to get started until I found this golden opportunity. And I essentially ended up going from being another corporate employee that's probably gonna get replaced by AI to being an AI agency owner making 30K per month selling AI infrastructure to local businesses. And the crazy part is you don't need to know how to code or know any technical skills or spend hours and hours running this business. But before I dive in, let me ask you something. I mean, how many of you are worried that AI is gonna take your job? Because here's the crazy part. While everyone is panicking about AI replacing their jobs, there's actually a gold rush of businesses that are throwing money at people who know how to implement AI employees to replace their existing team. And I'm talking like 2K, 5K, 10K per month per client. Look, I'm not some guru trying to sell you a course. My name is Harsha, and a little over 2 years ago, I was in the same situation as you, worried about my job, wondering if it's even worth slaving for hours to do something that doesn't build toward my future. Funny thing is, I was at one of the top colleges in the country for electrical engineering, which is what I graduated in. And even that didn't get me a satisfying career or corporate outcome that I really wanted. On top of that, I had this prestigious Boeing job lined up, but I just knew that it wouldn't have longevity or lifetime value. And at the same time, I was constantly worried that this new AI boom would just replace my job. So instead of taking that corporate job, I actually started digging deeper into what businesses actually need implemented for them using AI. And that's essentially what I now call AI employees. And here's what I found that changed everything. Every business has the same problems. They're paying receptionists $3,000 plus a month to answer boring phone calls that are repetitive. They're missing calls and losing out on customers because they're not replying to leads fast enough. They're spending thousands on marketing that takes hours of the business owner's time and doesn't even work. And finally, these business owners are wasting so much time doing repetitive tasks that AI is designed to automate. But here's the thing, they don't need some complicated fancy AI system like you would assume. They just need to install these simple AI solutions and automations that just act like the employees. For example, an AI receptionist that never sleeps, calls in sick, and answers every single call within seconds. Or an AI marketing assistant that generates content 24/7 and doesn't require the business owner to actually be there. And you know the beauty of this entire thing is that these solutions already exist. You just need to be smart enough to install them. That doesn't mean you need to be tech savvy. That doesn't mean you need to know how to code. It simply means you need to understand what is important to the business and how to plug it in using the existing templates and software available. Now, I know what you're thinking. Harsha, this seems way too good to be true. But look, I get it. I was skeptical too. But let me show you what happened when I did this instead of taking that corporate job. Look, on the screen is my Stripe dashboard, fan basis, and a bunch of other random payments where I've gotten from clients to install these exact systems that I've been talking about. And I've been invited to speak at some of the top AI conferences, be able to connect with some of the coolest entrepreneurs in the space, and also partner up with some top AI tools. But honestly, the real validation comes from being able to work with my clients and getting them crazy results. Now look, I'm sure your brain is immediately going into excuses and objections, so let's talk about those. The first one I get all the time is, but Harsha, I don't know how to code. Here's the thing, neither did I when I got started. And yes, I did have an engineering degree, but I actually used none of it when I was starting this business out, and I had to build an entire new skill set from scratch that didn't really require much of a technical background. Or you might be thinking, I don't have time for this business. But this business model is amazing because it only takes a few hours a week to actually do the marketing and systemization, and the fulfillment can be offloaded to someone who is way smarter than you and way cheaper. And for someone who's deep in the AI space, I also get this a lot, that the AI space is too saturated. But here's the thing, everyone's trying to build the next ChatGPT, and they're trying to build billion-dollar business ideas. But they're kind of forgetting about the little guys, the smaller players, the local businesses, the SMBs. These are the people that you're working on and targeting because they have no help or no awareness that these solutions exist. So you're the one that teaches them and implements it for them. So I'm gonna break down exactly how this works and how you can get started today in 3 simple steps. First, you wanna find the right businesses. I've pretty much already identified the types of businesses that need this the most. It's almost always the local businesses that are owned by like 1 to 2 people in the business that are doing everything. They're probably drowning in calls, handling fulfillment, trying to do marketing, and just holding too many hands at once without the time to actually do so. A lot of other people that I've seen need help is also these SMBs or online businesses like agencies and coaches that have a lot of heavy importance on marketing and fulfillment and need someone like you to actually come in and build these employees for them. The second step is a lot simpler than you think. You want to find the right AI employee to install and then actually install it. This is where the actual magic happens. You want to sit with the business owner and identify the top most repetitive tasks that they're constantly doing and how much money it's costing them or how much time it could save them. Now, once you list all of these by task order and priority, you want to identify which is the most important in terms of being replaced by an AI employee. You want to make sure that whatever solution that you're starting to implement first is going to save them the most amount of time and make them the most amount of money. The implementation is super simple. There's a bunch of freelancers and talented people online that can actually install these systems for you and take a small portion of what you actually charge the client. And the third step is my favorite: get paid monthly. Once it's installed for a setup fee, you can essentially charge them monthly on a retainer basis to manage, upkeep, and update these systems. It's essentially like having a SaaS business that you're customizing for each individual client without having to build an entire software. And the best part is, once you set these systems up once, they're essentially running semi-automatically. So you're not really trading time for money like a traditional business. And look, you can watch this video all you want and implement the steps I gave you, but you need to realize that the time is now. 2025 is almost coming to an end, and a lot of businesses are going to need your help. Every business owner knows they need AI, but they have no idea how to implement it. They're overwhelmed by all the options, scared by the technology, and don't have the time to set it up themselves. But they do have budgets, and they do have problems that the AI can solve. And they are willing to pay someone like you who actually is knowledgeable to implement these solutions for them. So while everyone else is trying to be the next AI influencer or build the next billion-dollar ChatGPT, you can be the one that's implementing these AI solutions practically for businesses that brings value to their life. Now, I've been getting a ton of messages of people asking me to teach them this system. And honestly, I've been hesitant for a while because I don't want to create some BS coaching program that gets no results for people. So here's what I've decided to do. I'm taking on a small group of people for my AI Growth Accelerator program. This is one-on-one mentorship with me personally, not some random coach that I'm going to send your way or some group coaching calls that get you lost in the crowd. And so over the next 16 weeks, I'm going to work with you personally to get the following set up for you. I'm going to work with you to identify the perfect niche and offer a business that you should be selling AI solutions to. I'm going to set up your entire client acquisition system with you so you know exactly what's happening and how to upkeep and optimize the system as we work together. I'm going to give you the exact copy-paste templates and scripts I use for outbound and inbound marketing. And I'm going to work with you hands-on until you land your first AI client. And that is not a maybe, that is a guarantee, because I know that I can do that for you. And look, I'm not just talking theory. I've actually built a consistent 30K per month agency across the past 2 years, and this is the exact systems that I used to go from scratch, knowing absolutely nothing, to building this life of freedom, being able to travel the world and live the life I want. I've already done the hard work and trial and error of figuring out the best niches, the best offers, the best marketing techniques in terms of outbound and inbound marketing, and also the systems to run a powerful fulfillment engine. So you're literally just copying what already works for you specifically. Now, I'm sure some of you are thinking, this seems too good to be true. But remember, businesses are already paying thousands of dollars to receptionists and employees for what these AI systems are doing 100 times better. We're just giving them a better solution for less money. You might be wondering, what if I have no business experience? Perfect. You don't need it. Where do you think some of the biggest business owners and entrepreneurs got started? You just need to know what AI solutions to implement for who, not some deep advanced business consulting. You might be wondering, what if the AI bubble bursts? What if this stops working? Well, as long as businesses have repetitive tasks that need automation, this business model is not going anywhere. Here's the thing though. If I'm promising to work with you one-on-one and actually devote my personal time, divert it away from my business to help you, I can only take on a limited amount of people. I'm not trying to build some massive course empire here. I've just gotten so many messages of people that want to work with me that I want to help those that are actually serious skip the 1.5 years of trial and errors that it took for me to get to this point. And honestly, this opportunity won't really last forever. Most businesses don't have AI in their processes, but eventually they will, because other players are going to set up systems before you get a chance to. So the early movers and action takers are the ones that are going to dominate this space. So if you're tired about worrying if AI is going to take your job, or you're unsatisfied by the work you do in your corporate, and you want a business model that doesn't take all of your time and only requires a few hours a week to actually set up, build, and grow, then click the link in the description below to apply to work with me one-on-one and see if you're a good fit for the AI Growth Accelerator program. I'll personally review your application, and if I think you're a good fit, we'll hop on a call to discuss how we're gonna get your first AI client in the next 16 weeks. Look, do what you want, but please don't wait on this. Look, I can only take on a limited amount of people, and I really want to help those that are serious. And truly, if you've made it this far into the video, I can tell that this is something you want to do. So click the link below, apply, let's see if we can work together, and I would love to help you set up your business and get you that first AI client. And look, if you got value from this video, hit the like button so the algorithm knows what to show you, and subscribe because I'm gonna be posting a bunch more content on how to build and fulfill for your AI agency. And as always, take care.